Good morning, students. Hope you are in the best of your health and are ready to note down everything what I will teach today. Hope you have all completed your homeworks or whatever the works which were notes I have given you in my previous classes. On that day I discussed about the minerals, what are their functions. Then I discussed about water. It is called the universal elixir of life. What is its uses? Like it is used for transportation, it's used in biochemical, excretion, maintaining body temperature. And then I discussed about the roughage, that is the dietary fiber. That is indigestible fibrous material present in the food. Major sources like salad, corn on the cob, vegetables, fruits. It helps in retaining water, adds bulk, and prevents constipation and bowel movement. Today I am going to discuss about balanced diet and so on. The food we eat, now everybody eats food, okay, to fill your stomach. But how many of you know, or how many of you understand the food which we are eating, whether it is a balanced food or not, a balanced diet? The food we eat should have or provide energy and materials to repair damaged cells. Okay, the food we eat should provide energy and materials to prevent or repair the damaged cell in our body, making new substances for growth and reproduction. Okay, so whatever food we are eating, it should provide energy. Second, it should repair the damaged cell of our body. The diet which contains all the essential nutrients in a right proportion is known as the balanced diet. You call it as the balanced diet. That is the diet which contains all the essential nutrients, which contains all essential nutrients in right proportion, is known as balanced diet. Okay, now the composition of balanced diet depends upon the sex, age group, in which age group you are, and the type of occupation you do. A typical type of balanced diet contains 60% of carbohydrate, 15% fat, and 25% protein. 60% of carbohydrate, 15% of fat, and 25% of protein, and other minerals in a requisite amount. Okay, so we should always try to avoid deep fried food, the food which is deep fried, because when you cook a deep fry a food, it loses its nutritive value. So such food should be avoided by us. Along the same time, we should use oily and spicy food, because they may be tasty, but at the same time they are harmful. They are affecting our digestive system. Now, before I go into this next topic, that is undernutrition and malnutrition, please I would suggest to solve or do oral questions on page number 25. Please do this oral question on page number 25. And please students, draw a balanced diet. What do you think a balanced diet of your age group it should contain in your classwork? This is the homework for you. The next topic which I will discuss is undernutrition and malnutrition. Undernutrition and malnutrition. Undernutrition and malnutrition. Now what do you understand by undernutrition? An unhealthy state of body due to intake of lesser quantity of food. Okay, an unhealthy state of the body. Unhealthy state of the body due to intake of lesser quantity of food is called as undernutrition. Okay, it is called as undernutrition. Fine. What are the reasons for undernutrition? It may be due to poverty, because in India, more than 70% of the people are poor, in the poor category. So they do not get 2 times a meal also properly. So they doesn't know what are the essential ingredients that should be present in their food. So due to poverty is one of the reasons. They are unable to buy the required quantity of food. And secondly, due to non-availability of food items, like during natural calamities like flood, drought, etc. Malnutrition is caused due to one or more nutrients, due to the lack of one or more nutrition. Next topic is malnutrition. Malnutrition is caused due to lack of one or more nutrients. Lack of one or more nutrients in our body or in our diet. It may be due to carelessness or may be due to lack of education. Both may be the reason. May be due to carelessness and due to the lack of education. Now, undernutrition and malnutrition both leads to the retardation of growth, or mental growth and mental disabilities. For example, a child suffering from protein energy malnutrition, that you call it as the PEM, that is protein energy malnutrition. A child suffering from malnutrition falls sick quite often. He is not properly fit. He suffers quite often. A malnourished child does not need costly medicines, or he should be given a required amount of balanced diet. Next topic is obesity. What is obesity? You all know, you have heard this term, obesity. Person with stomach which is bulging out, that type of persons are known as obese person. The overweight or bulkiness of a person's body due to excessive accumulation of fat, like me, excessive accumulation of fat is called obesity. What are the causes of obesity? Overeating, always eating, hormonal imbalance, overeating, hormonal imbalance, metabolic disorder, and due to lack of physical exercise. If you don't do physical exercise, that is one of the reasons. Now, how can you control obesity? By doing physical exercise regularly, by taking medicines correctly, and also follow some rules to avoid high fat food. Obesity is a very harmful, it's very it's a health hazard for all. It leads to the increase in cholesterol of the body. It causes cardiovascular disorder. It blocks the heart, and you have to take, or it may lead to hormonal imbalance. So obesity is also called as a health hazard. We call it as a health hazard. My dear student, I think this much you have understood. I have explained about the balanced diet, undernutrition, malnutrition, and obesity. The next topic, or the last topic which I am going to discuss, is about the deficiency disease. What do you understand by deficiency disease? What do you mean by deficiency disease? Deficiency What do you understand by deficiency diseases? Now, deficiency disease, a disease caused due to lack of one or more nutrients in the diet, is called as deficiency disease. Now, deficiency diseases are non-communicable diseases, that is, they cannot be transferred. They cannot be transferred. Now, there are three types of deficiency disease. One is protein energy malnutrition. Protein energy malnutrition. Malnutrition. Vitamin deficiency disease. Vitamin deficiency disease. Okay. And the last one is mineral deficiency disease. Last is the mineral deficiency disease. Mineral deficiency. So students, you can understand. Now, first is the deficiency of carbohydrate. If you have deficiency of carbohydrate in your food, what is going to happen? Now, you know, carbohydrates are the cheap source of energy in our body. They are the cheap and the major sources of energy in our body. Much of this is absent from the food. A boy or a girl of your age requires 320 grams of cereals. Okay. A diet that contains less amount of carbohydrate than the required amount, that is called as carbohydrate deficiency disease. If a person takes for a long time carbon deficient food, he will be suffering from general weakness and he cannot bear any physical stress or mental strain. Now, next is the deficiency of fats. What happens deficiency of fat? Or one more thing, if you take too much carbohydrate food, it will not make you strong, but it will lead to overweight. Your body weight will increase. So you should keep a balance between deficiency and too much of taking of carbohydrate food. Like carbohydrate deficiency of fats also provides energy to the body. But fats helps in the synthesis of proteins like vitamins D and vitamin K. Deficiency of fats, it causes body weakness, it causes obesity and leads to heart diseases. So you should you should take excessive in fat. If you will take, it will get deposited in your body and it will lead to heart disease as well as it may lead to the blockage of heart. Okay, and it will lead to overweight also. Next, coming to the deficiency of protein. Next is the deficiency of protein. The main two diseases which are caused due to disease, one is kwashiorkor and another one is marasmus. Kwashiorkor and marasmus. One is kwashiorkor, another one is marasmus. Now, kwashiorkor is caused by the deficiency of proteins and carbohydrates. Kwashiorkor is caused due to deficiency of proteins and carbohydrates in our diet. The disease occurs mostly in children at the age of 1 to 5 years. What are the symptoms of kwashiorkor? Irritable, pathetic facial look. Irritable facial look. Okay. Irritable facial look. Then hair turn reddish, swollen abdomen, skin cracks, swollen abdomen, and hair turns reddish. Okay, these are the things. Now, how can you cure? By giving food rich in protein. Same way, Marasmus also, it is also caused due to deficiency of protein and carbohydrate. A marasmic children shows all the symptoms of that of a kwashiorkor children. The muscles get twisted, so these students should take enough of food that is rich in carbohydrate and protein. Now you know mother's milk contains double the amount of vitamin C than the cow's milk. So the infant, they are fed with mother's milk up to the age of 8 to 10 years. 8 to 10 months, sorry, not years, 8 to 10 months. Now deficiency of vitamins. Vitamins helps in proper utilization of nutrients. Okay. So mainly our body can make only two vitamins, that is vitamin D and vitamin K. So but all the vitamins should be present in a required amount. If there is a food which is there is deficiency of vitamin, we call it as vitamin deficiency disease. Some of the vitamin deficiency diseases are like vitamin A causes night blindness. You are unable to see in the light, dim light. B1, beriberi, it is linked swelling and pain of legs, loss of appetite. Vitamin B2, that is skin disease, skin disorder, overgrowth. Vitamin B4, that is pellagra, swelling and redness of gums of the teeth. B9, it causes anemia, like fatigue, you get very exhausted very fast. Vitamin C, we call scurvy, and that is pale look, swelling and bleeding of gums. Vitamin D, rickets, bent legs or bow legs. Vitamin K, hemoglobin, excessive bleeding from injury. And vitamin E, that is reproductive disorders. These are all these charts. This chart is on page number 29. You will write in the copy on the white side. Page 29 chart. You will write in the fine students. So this is very important. You have to study and by heart. Now next, deficiency of mineral. Okay. Now our body needs mineral but in a smaller amounts. Minerals that do not provide energy for body growth or people, but it is used for the regulation of many body functions. Now some of the major mineral deficiency disease like calcium is there. Okay, it leads to brittle bones causing rickets. Then phosphorus, it causes body weakness, bad teeth, bones, iron, fatigue, pale look, anemia. Then iodine, abnormal growth of thyroid, goiter, and there are certain minerals. This chart also you will draw in your copy in page 29, another one is in page 30. So students, major minerals which are found in our body are calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, magnesium. These are the major minerals found in our body. And the minerals which are found in smaller amount, they are iron, zinc and sodium, magnesium and manganese. Now people, those who are staying near the coastal areas, they do not suffer from poisoning because they get enough amount of sea fish, and sea fish contains salts. So dear students, with this I am ending up the topic, and there are some oral questions on page number 20, page number 30 and on page number 25 and 29 also. Please go through these questions, because in my next class I will be giving you some inside questions for you to write. Please you draw properly. If you can draw, you can draw the picture of a child suffering from kwashiorkor as well as marasmus. And these two charts, you draw it on the white side of your page, properly mark it. And you know, I have already told you in my last class that you be ready with your copies, because two chapters which have been taught before 15th May will be asked for correction, will be asked by the school to submit, come and submit, and then you will be asked for correction. So cover your copies, write your names and be ready, and update your work every day, so that at the end you don't have to hurry. With this, hope you have understood and everything is clear to you. Any doubts, you please feel free to talk to me and don't hesitate. But whenever you ask, you please write your name, write your section. I am unable to, I have told you many a times, you just who are you, whom are, you don't have this much of courtesy. Please students, have this proper courtesy to ask and write your name and section. Thank you, may you have a beautiful day.